Hello and welcome. I'm Raghav, and today we are going to learn iOS mobile testing on Testim. This is going to be very easy and very interesting. So we will see step by step how we can do a mobile testing on our iOS mobile devices. We will start with the initial setup steps. We will also see how we can prepare our application that we have to test. Now when we are doing iOS testing, we need application which should be in a .app or .ipa format, and I will tell you the details about that. We will also see what are the steps we have to do for preparing the device. So for iOS testing we can use real devices, virtual devices, we can use cloud grids, and I will show you all the options we have. And then we will also see how we can get a sample application file. Now in case you have your own application file and you are allowed to use it for testing, you can use it. Otherwise I will show you how you can get some sample files online and then you can use them for your testing on Testim. We will then also see how do we upload and select the application while recording and testing, and then we will see a demo on how we can record and run our iOS mobile test. We will see some supported mobile actions. So this is what we are going to see. And in the earlier session we have seen about Android testing in Testim, and on a session earlier to that we have also seen the basic steps of getting started with mobile testing. So here we will now start with the initial steps for iOS testing, and for this you can open your Testim, you can log into your account, and then when you go to projects you will see a iOS project. So if I go here, I am already logged into my Testim account, and if you go to the projects and you see here, you will scroll down and see there is a project for iOS, and this is what we will use. And if you have to do iOS testing, you have to use the iOS project. So you can click and select the iOS project, and then after that we have to also make our mobile agent ready. Now in the session where we saw the getting started steps for mobile testing, I have shown you how you can download mobile agent and then set up and start it. So if I go here, you can see here we have the mobile agent, and this will be shown only in the mobile projects, that is Android and iOS. So if you do not have it, you can download it here and then set it up. I will say retry connecting, and I will open the mobile agent. So it will open that Tricentis mobile agent, and then we will have this in a running green status. Now in case you are on a Windows operating system, you can still do iOS testing using the cloud or the grid devices. I will show you that in a moment. So you can see here I am on Mac, and here is my Windows system. So here also you can do iOS testing. The only thing is that you will not be able to use any physical real devices. You cannot attach the devices, you cannot use any local devices, but if you are able to use, if you have the mobile grid where you have real device, virtual device, you can use them on the cloud. So basically you can use all the real virtual devices on the cloud, but you cannot use local devices from Windows, and if you're on Mac you can also use your local devices. So here it is up and running, the mobile agent. You can see the status is in green, and here it will also show you the physical devices, virtual devices, and you can open the TMA console from here. So we have this step to done. Now if you go to the test editor, if you go here to the editor and click on the record button here, you should find this window where you have to select your mobile device first. So you can see we have the virtual mobile grid, and you can select any of the mobile devices from here. And if you have any local devices, and if you are on your Mac operating system and you have connected any local devices, or you have any virtual devices as well, you can find all of them here. Now the reason it is showing me all these virtual devices is because I am on my Mac system and I have the Xcode application installed. So let me very quickly show you. If I open my Xcode, here we have the option to go to simulators, iOS simulators, and you can use the simulators there. So here, so Xcode is here, and if I go to Xcode menu here and go to open developer tool, we have a simulator application. I can go here, and then here you can see we have all the simulator devices. So if I go to the menu file open simulator, you will see all these devices. These comes along with the application in the simulator application and with Xcode. So that's the reason I was able to see all this. Let me again show you. So we can select a device from here, from the virtual grid, and we can also select the operating system. And then when you click on next, you will have a option to select the application, and you can upload an application while recording, or you can also get your application uploaded on your account, on your Testim account, and then use it from here. So all the applications you have available in your account will be shown here. This I will show you in a moment. How do you upload the application? So here we have seen both of these options. Selecting of the mobile device and iOS app is available, and for now we will pause our recording steps here. Before we continue with recording and running the test, we have to first prepare the application to be tested. Now when we are doing iOS testing, we have to use the application file, which should be in .app format or .ipa format. If we are using iOS real devices, we have to use the .ipa files, and for iOS simulators we have to use the .app files. And you may also get your zipped files for your application that you can upload and use them. And here, so we need for virtual devices .app format, and for recording and testing on physical device, the app needs to be compiled for physical devices, that is the .ipa format. And here is a link that you can see in case you want to prepare manually your .ipa file for testing. You can see this link. This is from Testim documentation, how to prepare an IPA for mobile testing, and you can go here and you can see this is the one. So you can check here. Here we have how to prepare an IPA for mobile testing, and this is using Xcode. So this is something in case you have the option, and if you want to prepare your file manually using Xcode, you can check this. Otherwise we can use some sample apps, or if you already have your own apps, you can directly use them. Also another information, when we record our test on a virtual device, then it can be run on virtual devices only, and if you are recorded our test on physical device, it has to be run on physical devices. And we know the difference because the applications are compiled differently for virtual and physical devices with different file formats. Okay, so with this information and knowledge, we can go ahead and see the steps to prepare our device. Now in case you want to use the cloud devices from the grid, we do not have to do anything at our end. We have the devices ready, we can just use them. However, if you want to connect your own physical iOS device, or if you want to use a virtual iOS device, you will have to check some steps. And here is a link again from the Testim documentation, where you can check how to set up physical or virtual iOS devices, and you can see here, this is the link. So here on this documentation we have all the options of using and setting up a local device. So we have for Android as well, and now if we have to use for iOS, here are the steps for connecting a physical iOS device. Now if you want to use a physical iOS device that you have with you and you want to connect it and use it, you will have to take care of these requirements. You should have the mobile agent installed and running, which we already have seen. You should also have a active Apple developer account, and you should then complete these steps. Here there is also a video for this. You can check this video and you can see all the steps, and here are the steps. So we will connect the iOS device with the USB cable to our system. Then we will go to the iOS mobile device and go to settings, and then we have to enable UI automation here. Then we can go to Safari Advanced and then enable Web Inspector from there. And then whenever we connect our mobile agent, and on testing we have our mobile agent running, we can go to the TMA console link. So here you can see, if I go here to the mobile agent, I have this open TMA console, and here you can check. If I go to device management or iOS artifacts, here I can insert my Apple ID. There is a tutorial as well here, and you can check all the details here. So you can go here, all these steps are here. How to get your Apple team ID, and then you can do all these steps here. all the certificate signing, all these things you have to do. This is only for if you are using your own local physical iOS device. Okay, so these are the steps, and then we also have steps for connecting a virtual iOS device. So for virtual iOS device, as I have shown you, we need a Xcode application, and then from there we can go to the simulator, and then we can check all these simulators are here. And by default, when you go to your when you open your Testim on the same operating system, on the same system, and you try to record a test, you will get the option of all those simulators in the device section, as we have already seen. Okay, so here this is information. If you have to use any of your local devices, you can check this. Otherwise, we directly have an option to use the cloud devices where we do not have to do any setup at our end. Okay, now getting their sample application file. In case you do not have your own file, you can get some sample apps from online. So you can see these are some links. You can check these links. This is a UI catalog application. Then you can also find some application on this link. Here are some Android and iOS apps. Then this is the app which can be used. So I can show you this one. So here is the link, GitHub link. You can go here, go to this link and download the zip, and then once you download the zip, you can go to the mobile apps and upload it here. So these are the options. And when you are doing iOS testing, you also have to check the compatibility of the app with the devices or the operating system of the device you are using. Now this information will be given to you, will be given by the owners of the application or your managers, your teammates. So you will be given the information on what all devices, what all operating system we have to check this application or we have to test this application. Otherwise, for a demo, you can try on different operating systems of that device or different devices. Okay, now after this we have to get our application ready for recording and testing. So there are three ways you can get your application on your Testim account. So in case you are using any of your local devices, whether real physical local devices or virtual devices, in that case we have an option to directly select an application from the device, and I will show you in a demo how to do this. So this option is only available for local devices. Otherwise, we can record the application while recording. We can upload the application while testing or recording, and I have already shown you. When you click on this record button and after selecting a mobile device, when you go to next, we have the option to upload the application here, or if you have already uploaded, it will be available in the library section here. Okay, and then the third option is we upload the application in advance in the library section or the mobile apps library. So this is what we will do. I will go to the mobile apps, and I have already downloaded the zipped file of this app, the app. So I will go here and click on add an app, click here, and then if I go to my mobile apps, I have the app zip file here. I think this is the one. I will select this and this will upload it, and then it should be available for recording and testing. In case there are any issues while uploading the app, or if it is not a proper app, you will have the details shown here. So let it upload. Okay, so this is done, and we have the application available here, and you can select the application here. You can upload many applications, so I can upload more application. I can click on new app and go here, and let me see this one. So you can make all your applications ready by uploading on this section. So it is uploading, and see, this time there was some issue. It is saying iOS manifest file not found, so you have to check this. It should be a proper application with all the files and all the things available, and then it should be available here. And you can select the application here, and then we also have option to upload it to grid. You can upload it to grid and then you can directly use it from the grid. We can delete, we can download, we can copy the ID of the application, and then we can also rename the application from here. Okay, so these are the options of making our application ready for our recording and testing. Alright, now we have already added our application. Now we will see a demo of recording and running an iOS mobile test, and I will show you a demo on a virtual grid device and then also on a local device. So step number 1 is we have to open our iOS project. So make sure that you are on your iOS project here. So I am already here. Okay, then I will go back to my test editor section. Make sure that your mobile agent is up and running with the screen status here. Okay, we have already seen this. Check this. Now we will click on record, and then we will select the mobile device and the app for testing. So I will click on record, start recording, and this time I'm selecting a mobile from the virtual mobile grid. And also in the getting started session, I have shown you can go to your user account here and go to grids, and here you can see the virtual mobile grid, and these are available for pro accounts, or in case you want to try it in a trial version, you can check this. So you should be having either a pro account or you can have a trial account, and then you can add new grid from here. So you can create a custom grid, or you can use any of these cloud providers like Testim, Headspin Mobile, Browser Stack, Sauce Labs, Lambda Test, Cloudy, etc. And then you can have that all the devices from that grid or from that cloud provider available. So I'll just go back to my test, click on record, select some mobile device. Let me select this one, and operating system, and then next, and then here you can see now the app I uploaded is available here. I will click this one and say done, and you can now see it is now starting the AUT mirror viewer, and it will get the device and the application ready for recording. So here it is making it ready. Okay, now it is starting the app, and you can now see it is highlighting wherever I am taking my cursor. So I can now do a recording. So let's say I go to let us say this one, echo box. So it will do the action. It will also record the action here. You can see the tap action is recorded, and here it has gone here. Let us say I can type something here. I can use the keyboard and add it here. Click on save, and all these actions are getting recorded here. I can go back, and let's say I go to somewhere here, list demo. So this is recorded, and let's say I want to swipe up, so I will just swipe up like this, and that will also get recorded. You can see the swipe action got recorded here. And then of course, if you have to do any kind of validations, you can go here and say validate element text, validate element visible, anything that you can do, and you can select anything here, and that will also add the validation step here. And then finally, let us say I click on the home button, and it records it, and I can stop the recording now. Okay, and then if you have to run it, we can run it on the same device locally with debugging, or we also have option to run on grid. So we can run on, you can select the grid from here, and then we can select the configuration. We can also add new configuration. This all we have seen in the getting started section. So you can also go to the here runs configuration list, add new configuration with whatever devices and setup you want, configuration you want. You can add it here, and that will be available here. So for now I will just run on this local with debugging, and it will run on the same device here. So it is getting the device and the app ready, and it will now starting the application, and it is now doing all these actions. So as of now it is doing a tap action here, and will enter the text and then save and go back. So it has clicked on the back button, and then it will click on this, and now it will do swipe. So here it is doing swipe action, and then it will check the validation steps and press the home button. So everything is fine. Okay, so all these steps it is able to do. We have seen these steps. So once we start recording, we can see the AUT mirroring viewer, and if you have to do any recording, you have to do the steps, you have to do the action on the AUT mirror viewer, that is this device viewer that we get from Testim. Okay, and we have already done this. We have added the validation steps. We can also add the reset app step as step number 2. So you can go here and go to the first step, click on Testim predefined steps, and when you search for reset, you will get this option reset app, and you can add this reset app step as well. And when you go to the first step and go to the settings here, you can see the application name and all the details here, and you can check the configuration. You can edit the configuration which has step timeout, delay, and then we can see the setup timeout and the hooks here. Okay, so all this information is here. Okay, so we can do this. This is how we can do the recording, and this we can also do on Windows. So let us say I'm on my Windows system, and here this is my Windows system. I have already logged into my account. Here also I will go to the mobile apps, and first I will add the application. I have this app zip file already downloaded. I will upload it on Testim, and this will be available in the mobile apps library. So it is now available here. And then if I go to the editor, I have already changed my project to iOS, and the mobile agent is already running here. And now if I go to record, you can see I don't have any local devices, but I can still use all the virtual mobile grid devices or all the cloud devices. You can also add more cloud grids like browser stack, source labs, headspin, whatever you want. As we have seen, you can go to the grids and add them, and then all this will be available here. So let us say this is the one I used, and I can select the operating system. Next I can use the app here and then start, and you can see it is now starting the AUT mirror viewer, and we can do recording here. So it is making the device and app ready for testing, and it is here, and you can see now I can go and do the recording. So all that I am doing is getting recorded here. So all this is getting recorded. Okay, so if you do not have a Mac operating system, you can still do iOS testing on cloud devices. So you can do like this, and if you have your local devices, you can use your apps directly from the device. Let me show you that as well. I will save this iOS. I will name this as iOS demo 1, and then I will create a new test, and this time I will start recording, and this time I'm going to use local devices, and I have all these virtual devices which is coming from my simulator app, and I'm going to select one of the virtual device. This is my local virtual device, and now you can see as I'm doing this, it will start the simulator and start the device. And if I select from device, I want to use an application from device. Once the device is ready, you can see it is starting the iPhone 14 Pro Max simulator on my system, and once it is ready, it will show all the applications available on this device and I can choose the application from there. So it is now here up and running, and I should see a list of apps, and yes, I can see them. Let us say I want to use the Safari browser, mobile Safari. I will select this and say done, and you can now see it is starting the AUT mirror viewer, and this is the simulator on my system, and this is the AUT mirror viewer coming from Testim. So it has added the Tricentis mobile agent, and then it will make the device and application ready. Okay, so it is making it, let it come here. We have already seen that, we already know that if I do anything here on the directly on the device, it will not get recorded. Whatever I do here on the AUT mirror viewer will get recorded. So maybe some compatibility issues with the application in the device, that's why I cannot see it here. Otherwise it should be available here as well. So let me stop this one and close this. Okay, this time if I stop and close this and I click on record again, so maybe first time there was some issue, and let me try it now. So this has come here. Okay, so this time it is able to get it, and you can see now I can do all my recording here. So I can, whatever actions I do will get recorded here. Okay, so you have to check the compatibility of the app and the devices, but this is how you can also use your local devices. Okay, so this is how we can do recording, and we can test on iOS mobile devices, and we can also see some other actions. Normally whatever actions we do, whether it is swipe, scroll, all will get recorded, but then we have some more actions. So you can check here supported mobile actions. You can see this is the documentation from Testim. We can see tap, swipe and scroll, and all these supported predefined mobile actions are also here. Validate email, visible, element visible, and wait for element, generate email address, CLI actions. So you can check these all the available mobile actions from here. So this is how we can do iOS testing on Testim. I hope this was very useful. If you have any questions, you can let me know. Thank you for watching, and never stop learning.